Hello there, my fellow myth and fantasy nerds. My name is Tanner, and I'd like to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. Sorry for the late video. Things are a little crazy at the moment, but I'm back and I'm ready to make new videos for you. Now that that's out of the way, you remember how I said in my last video that the D&D character Aelen would be the final D&D multiclass character I made a video about? Well, after that video, my very dumb, way too creative for my own good brain was like, I've got more ideas for you. In my last episode of this series, link up in the cards and in the description down below, I talked about Aelin Moonpetal, my Firbolg Druidlock. Whereas in this video, I will actually be talking about my fourth multiclass character, who, instead of being a Bardlock or a Druidlock, is actually a Sorlock. This means that instead of being a Bard Warlock multiclass, or a Druid Warlock multiclass, this character is a Sorcerer Warlock multiclass. Also, because my brain is a pain in the butt, and I am way too creative for my own frickin' good, I will absolutely have more character videos for you in this series. On that note, as always, please make sure to leave a like on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe down below. Pretty please! It'll help me make more content for you. And without further ado, allow me to present to you the fourth character in this series with the story of Aislenn Sunwing. Aislenn was born the son of two former adventurers, who were also the pillars of his little community. His mother, an Owlin druid, who worked as the local herbalist and healer, selling potions and poultices and other things to cure what ails you. And his father was a bard, who was both the town storyteller and the owner of the local tavern. Sadly, he passed when Aislenn was very, very young. Aislenn didn't have many memories of his father, only a faint impression of a smile and a light that always seemed to shine from him. Aislenn was told stories of his parents' adventures as he was growing up, and he always loved and looked forward to hearing them. As Aislenn grew older, one night, all of a sudden, he developed the strange and unexplainable ability to see events before they occurred. And then, soon after, his divine magic revealed itself to him. When that day came, his mother was forced to tell him the truth. His father was an Aasimar, descended from Erathin, the Celestial known by the titles the Great Prophet and Patron of Seers. As a product of a mingling of Owlin and Celestial bloodlines, Aislenn was the only one of his kind, at least as far as his parents and the other villagers were concerned. Aislenn left the village to seek his fortune on good terms, and his mother and the other villagers told him he was always welcome back whenever he wanted to visit. One night, early on in his adventures, Aislenn had a dream in which he found himself standing in front of what appeared to be a set of burning interlocked wheels, with eyes on the rims, and an eye in the center, staring at him. A voice spoke to him in his mind, though the being had no discernible mouth. "Do not fear," the being said to him. "I am Erathin, the great prophet, patron of seers, an ancestor to you and your father. I will help you make sense of your visions, as I helped him. However, I ask only for you to root out villains, especially false prophets, who either claim they have the sight but do not, or they do have the sight, but they only use it for their own gain. So Aislenn and Erathin made their pact, and Aislenn has been searching the world for wicked false prophets ever since. Wow, that was a cool story, right? Aislenn is an owlin, which is essentially a humanoid owl. Very simple. He is what is known as a Sorlock, which means he is a sorcerer warlock multiclass. Specifically, he is a divine soul sorcerer and celestial patron warlock. Now, I've been thinking of a celestial warlock patron that's flavored as an ophanim from the Bible for a while now, and I actually thought that this would be a really great idea. After all, owls are known as symbols of wisdom and can move their head nearly 360 degrees, so why not an owlin whose patron can also see 360 degrees? And also, not just see, but see. As for the items on his person, I like to imagine that Aislenn possesses an eye-shaped pendant with a milky quartz orb for the iris, which he uses as an arcane focus for both his sorcerer and his warlock spells. Now, like with all three of my previous Warlock multiclasses, Aislinn's Pact boon when he reaches the right level will be Pact of the Tome, which gives him some new cantrips to use in battle. However, I like to imagine that instead of the typical spellbook, I imagine his tome as taking the form of a set of metal bracelets with celestial inscriptions, the language of angels and celestial beings, embossed in them. I also like to imagine that these inscriptions glow when he casts each cantrip. Now, like with most of my other characters, I have not yet played as Aislenn. However, when I rolled his stats and then added the increases he gets from being an Owlin, his highest stat is his charisma, because both his warlock and sorcerer spells come from his charisma, at 16, and his worst is his strength at 9. I like to think that he prefers to cast spells and sneak around, because as an owlin, his feathers give him an advantage in stealth, rather than fight up close. And there we have it. That was Aislenn Sunwing, the Owlin Sorlock. If you liked this video and you want more, please consider leaving a like and subscribing down below so you don't miss any new content from me. So what did you think of Aislenn? Did you like his story? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you have any other ideas you want to see in any future videos, please leave those suggestions in the comments as well. Who knows? It might just happen. Alright, well, that's all the time I have for this video, so I'll see you all next week with part 5 of this series, where I will be talking about the 5th multi-class character, who I'll admit is a pretty creative character concept. Wink, wink. See you guys then.